Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're talking about Banshee's homecoming episode. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch that episode, stop listening now. Major spoilers. Here we go. Banshee returned tonight, March 7th, 2014, with an episode called Homecoming. While in New York, Job visits a priest with ties to Rabbit. Carrie's relationship with Gordon faces a new test following another revelation. I just want to say right now that tonight's episode took Banshee in a direction that how do I say this, man, without spoiling too much? We can't go back. It's impossible to go back. We're just, man, it's so frustrating, man, in a good way, because the show is so amazing. It's so amazing. It's so deep and just beautiful. It's just art on a canvas, using the screen as its canvas, and it's just painting a masterpiece every single week. But here's the thing, man. These characters that we get attached to inside of this series, they can't last forever. It's a fact. That's just the way, network television goes. That's just the way, everything in life goes, okay? Without spoiling too much, okay? Or without going into too much detail, man, because this is going to get me sad, all right? Emmett is gone. He's officially gone, man. He's leaving. He's going to Florida. I thought what was going to happen, man, is that, with everything that happened last week, I thought, Emmett would take some time off, think some things through, and then maybe come back. But after an amazing introduction to this episode, like the intro to Homecoming, the first pretty much 10 to 15 minutes of this episode is just mind-blowing. And you don't know really what's going on because it's so fast-paced, man. I had to watch this thing 2 times, back to back. And then I'm actually watching it a 4th time right now as I'm doing this this podcast. And what's so amazing about this show is that, you as the fan, you think that this is going to happen, and then something totally different happens. So what I thought Emmett would take some time off. He would come back this episode. He would sit down with Brock and Kelly and Lucas Hood, and they would talk and say, okay, listen, man, we want you back. We don't want you to leave the team. We understand what you went through. Maybe you go do some, training, take some time off with his wife, and everything will be good to go. But that's not what happened, man. And I understand it. I understand the character, man. With Emmett, he doesn't want to go back to where, in that dark place that he went last week. He wants to move forward and never go back there. So obviously a change of scenery is the first thing, any person would do. But you just like, man, the dude had all of his belongings inside of a brown box. He went in there to talk to Lucas Hood. Lucas Hood is like, man, I can't believe you're leaving. It was an honor to serve with you and stuff, man. And then before he leaves, he says, I don't think that you're a bad man. I think you're a good man, to Lucas Hood. He's like, you don't fool me. I know you're a good man. And you thought it was kind of over there. You know what I'm saying? I thought, okay, maybe this is not the end that we'll see. And then what happened, man, he got to pretty much just say goodbye to everybody from Banshee PD. It was sad, man. It was just, I don't know, man. It's so frustrating. Because that's one of my favorite characters, man. And he gets a nod from Brock later on in the episode. He's standing outside of the caddy, and there's nothing really else to say, man. That was the last scene that we'll probably see of Emmett, unless maybe next week, they need him for backup or something. I don't know, but I don't see it happening, man. And there was about 3 or 4 different times in the episode where they show you that this is the end, man. They showed you with Lucas and Emmett, having their last, talk. They gave you closure with Emmett and Lucas with their relationship. Then they show Emmett's police badge being put away, and then they show his nameplate being kind of twisted around in somebody's hand. I believe it was Lucas Hood's hand, or Brock, one of the two. And then after that, they show Brock, give him his nod, man. Like, hey, that's it. and that, there's nothing else to say, man. Like, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. And another telltale sign is that a new character came in tonight, played by which was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie about that. You know, and that's the thing about the show. You know, what they do is they'll take a character away, they'll give you a new character at the same exact episode. So, you know, it's really, you can't really complain. You know, you can't really get sad because it's like, oh man, this character is interesting, because every single character on the show is interesting. You see what I'm saying? So even though you're losing one that you really, really enjoyed, really like seeing, but now he's gone, but there's another one that's like, you know, really interesting too. And that new character, man, played a character on The Wire. I don't know if you guys ever saw The Wire, but he was the mayor's friend, man, Mayor Carcetti's friend. Or colleague or whatever. He's a black dude, and he's playing this dude on Banshee called Julian's Broner, man. All right, and then he's a captain for the NYPD, and the character is kind of cool, man. What's kind of interesting about the character and fascinating about it is that this character, this Julian Broner, man, he knows who Lucas Hood really is. So he knows the identity, and in tonight's episode, that's what happened, man. Those are some of the things that were revealed. I had planned on going into a review of tonight's episode, but this turned into talking about Emmett. So we're going to stop, and we'll go back and we'll start talking about the episode, all right? Thanks again for listening. I guess I had to get that out, all right?